I'm here with Eric Lerner.
We're hoping to learn the identity of the co-conspirators, and maybe that will shed light on who Jen's recruiter was.
This man has so much to do with bringing down Jeffrey Epstein.
I was approached by a victim who went to a high school down the block from where he lived. And she was 14 years old when she was recruited and brought to his home. And when I found out about this, I said, oh, we need to get him. We need to do something. I'm an attorney, and she came to me seeking legal advice because there was a statute of limitations that had expired, and she was wondering if she could still pursue a lawsuit against him because this happened in 2001 and 2002. Fortunately, they had just passed the Child Victims Act, which was going to be going into effect about 6 months after I met her. So we waited, and as soon as that statute of limitations was ripe, we sued him. And about a month before we were able to sue him, he was arrested. And we had been talking to the Today Show about maybe coming forward. We weren't sure because nobody had ever come forward on national television.
And everybody was afraid of Jeffrey Epstein. I mean, he could destroy you.
People were very scared, and my client was reluctant to actually come forward on national television.
Why did she pick you?
I don't know why she picked me, but it turned out well. So, you know, I mean, that's fate. I guess
You must be one good attorney.
She came forward. We got a phone call that he has just been arrested, and they said, if you are going to come forward, you got to do it now because they're having his bail hearing on Friday. We want to air this Thursday night so that on Friday the judge will deny his bail. The next morning we went, we filmed it, and on Thursday before his bail hearing on Friday, they aired it the day before. Alex Acosta, the labor secretary for the Trump administration, resigned the next morning. In court the next day, the judge cited the interview and said, I've seen this interview. I've seen what this man is capable of. He's a danger to society, and we're going to deny his bail. Had his bail not been denied, he would have had all of the resources available to him that he had, and who knows, he may have disappeared. So we felt that this was necessary and that we were doing it basically for the betterment of society. Even though we had death threats against us the day after, we had to literally, the FBI asked us to basically go into quote-unquote hiding for a week. We hid out, laid low for a week, but what we actually did the next day was Dave Chappelle reached out to us and asked us...
Dave Chappelle?
Yes. And asked us, this is the truth, and asked us...
You can't make this stuff up.
And asked us to be a guest of his at one of his shows. So Dave actually had us there with him. We met with him and his wife, and he had us at his show the next night in Manhattan. And what I really respect about Dave Chappelle is he could have cracked a joke, but he didn't. He didn't say anything, and nobody even knows this. And we literally spent the next 2 to 3 nights with Dave Chappelle. We met with Rosie Perez that week, Olivia Munn. And then a couple of weeks later, we participated in it was a Survivors Bill of Rights at the United Nations that Olivia Munn held. And we participated, we spoke, and we helped to try to launch a Survivors Initiative at the UN. UK ended up vetoing the bill because we showed up, because Prince Andrew's daughter was supposed to be there as well. And when they found out that we were going to be there, they canceled and they said, if we show up, they're vetoing the bill. Nobody knows this. Yeah.
Okay, Shelli Stelmak exclusive.
What's interesting is Jennifer has no allegations against Prince Andrew, nothing, but just her connection to Jeffrey Epstein was enough to create such a fear within the UK government because of they apparently knew of Prince Andrew's connection and how deep it was. And because we were speaking, even though there were no allegations by us against Prince Andrew, they canceled his daughter's appearance and they vetoed the bill. What happened next is we filed a thing called a notice for discovery and inspection in the New York State Court. The reason we did that strategically was we wanted to start getting discovery and we wanted to depose Jeffrey Epstein. before the Child Victims Act passed. It's in the New York procedure. It actually allows you to proceed before a statute is ripe. So we filed this. They hand-delivered it to Jeffrey Epstein in prison, our lawsuit, with this notice for discovery and inspection. And then that evening was his first suicide attempt, the evening that he got our papers in court. And I think it might have had something to do with it because he actually, for the first time, was seeing that there were allegations against him for first-degree rape, which has no statute of limitations, which carries a sentence of 20 to 30 years in prison. So I think that might have had something to do with it. It was the same day.
Were you scared?
I wasn't scared because I'm fearless. So he responded to our papers, not denying that he knew Jennifer, not denying that he did anything, but saying that he was going to plead his Fifth Amendment right against, self-incrimination to each and every single allegation. He said right there and then that there was no reason for us to depose him because he planned to plead his Fifth Amendment right. And 24 hours before he actually committed suicide, his attorneys responded fully to our papers. And the judge had ruled that we were going to get to depose him. And then it was, one of the hardest days ever was the day that he committed suicide. We felt that he stole from us for a day in court. Less for me, because I'm just the attorney, even though I feel,
it's still all about justice, and that's what really matters. You've done so much. You have really made a contribution and a difference in this world.